gonna tell you something that actually I don't think I've ever said before on social media. Didn't I just leave med school to do this full time? This is not a good start. Oh crap, wait, I forgot. I'm slow. So the second thing that you want, I always end up dropping something. It's not worth it to ruin your following because you promoted a product that you really didn't like just for a check.
Beautiful painter, I love the way you painted the sky tonight. Beautiful savior, come have your way in me, you're my one desire.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys my story time of how I became an influencer. So I've been getting asked this a lot lately, and I don't think I've ever done a dedicated video on exactly like how I got into social media and how I was able to grow my platforms. And I've been getting a lot of questions lately about how exactly I did that, because in the past 3 years I have grown insane followings. I have over 1 million followers on TikTok. We're climbing up to 200,000 followers on Instagram. And as you guys know on here, we have almost 500,000 subscribers, which is insane. So I thought, you know, I would share my story. And while we do this, I'm going to be doing my nighttime routine, which includes me showing you guys how I get this leave out to be blended without using heat, because it took me a minute, but we got it. And also doing my skincare routine, which the full video for that is already up. I posted that during Vlogmas. Alright, so if you're interested to hear my story, make sure you keep watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Click the subscribe button, put your notifications on so you don't miss any uploads. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram for daily content, and check out my hair care line if you're interested in getting a product to help promote growth. Alright guys, let's get into it. Alright, I'm gonna start with my hair first because you already know I like to use a steamer when I cleanse, so I don't want my hair to frizz up, so we're just gonna go ahead and do that. I posted a video tutorial on this on TikTok and Instagram, the road curls, so if you want any details or anything like that, just go check out my TikTok because it's gonna be all on there. Okay, so where do I begin? I'm going to tell you something that actually I don't think I've ever said before on social media, which is that I actually started social media in 2019, but ended up like deleting everything and then restarting it in 2021. So in 2019, I just started on YouTube. Out of all the social medias, I really liked YouTube, and that's where I wanted to grow, and also that's where you make the most money until we got into TikTok Shop. But before that, YouTube was where you made the most money, and so that's kind of what I wanted to do. I've always just been curious about it. Didn't like, you know, go to bed thinking at night, oh, I really want to be an influencer, that's my dream. It was never like that. It was always supposed to be like a hobby, something that I could do while I was in my pre-med scientific journey of becoming a doctor. By the way, if you don't have this brush, get it, okay? There is nothing else to say. So anyways, I started in 2019. I think I posted maybe like 2 videos on YouTube. No subscribers, nothing happened with it. And I deleted it. This is my sophomore year of college. I deleted it. I just think I did not have self-confidence, and I didn't really know what I was doing, and I just didn't worry about it, okay? So fast forward to 2021. So it's like 2 years later. So the only reason I started social media in 2021 again was because I was taking a gap year. So I graduated college in 2020, and I graduated college in 3 years, and so I took my 4th year, which would have been my senior year, off to focus more on medical applications. Gonna be using this foam wrapping mousse. These only work if you give it hold, okay? Don't know what she was doing. Anyways, so during this year, I had probably the most free time that I've ever had since like going to college, because I wasn't in school for the first time ever, so I wasn't busy studying or whatever. I was working, but it was part-time, and then there was a point where I didn't have a job for a couple of months, so it was just kind of like free time. And I remember thinking, like, if I ever want to start social media, now's the time, because once I go to medical school in the fall, I'm not going to have time to do it. And again, I've always just wanted to do it, to try it out. Never was trying to be an influencer, never was trying to be a business owner, just wanted a hobby. In med school, they say that you always need to have something outside of med school to help with like your mental health. You don't have your entire life focused on medicine. And so that's why I wanted to do it. I started YouTube again in December of 2020. So during this time, that when I was talking about the period where I really didn't have a job, it was this time. I was getting transferred. They told me I was getting transferred right before the holidays. And so I had like 3 months where I just wasn't working because the transfer took forever. I decided to post on YouTube. So I made a video of me doing some knotless red braids, the first video ever on my channel. And at this time, 0 subscribers, of course. And so I think I posted another video. I think it was maybe like a weight loss video, and then I might have posted, I don't really remember, but I may have had like 2 or 3 videos. And I remember I did this for like 6 weeks. And I remember like doing sub for subs on YouTube because I didn't have any subscribers, so I did that. And within like 6 weeks, I had about 50 subscribers on YouTube just from sub for subs. So then, let's talk about TikTok, because that's where it all started. It's funny because when TikTok first came out, I wasn't a huge fan of it. I was stuck on Instagram and YouTube. And then I started watching TikTok on my gap year, which was also the year that COVID really started to hit. And so I became a huge like watcher of TikTok, but I never posted for like the first year. And so then I was like, why not start posting on TikTok with like little clips of my YouTube videos to get more people to watch my YouTube videos. And also just to kind of like help people find my YouTube channel. So I wasn't trying to be a TikToker. I literally was just posting just to get more followers and views so that they could watch my YouTube, because that's where I wanted to grow. And so I remember I had made a couple videos. I did like a transformation video, I did a little funny Christian video, and then finally, this is how I know God is just so good. So finally, in January, I remember like I had like run out of like a bunch of my favorite hair products for months, and I just was too lazy to buy any. And so I was just like using whatever I had. But then finally I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to the store and stock up on all my hair products that I like. And I'm also going to make a new batch of my hair butter, because I still had about half of my batch left, but you know, it lasts forever. So it was like a year old at this point, and I was like, I'm just going to make a new batch and like throw that one away. And so I bought the stuff for the hair butter. And if you watch that video, you'll see like I'm in my kitchen. I was living with my parents, so in the kitchen, and I'm making the product with the mixer. And I'm literally like thinking in my head, I'm gonna film this so I can practice like filming and editing videos. And so I edited the video and I uploaded it. And you'll see on the video, it literally was like how this product helped me grow waist length. Now knowing what I know, that was a really good attention grabbing title, and I can understand why the video went viral now. But back then I didn't know any of that, so I don't know why I titled the video like that. So that's how I know it's just God. So I posted it Sunday, I believe January 27th maybe, or 24th, maybe 21st, I don't know, but like last week of January. So still have 50 subscribers on YouTube. Been doing YouTube for about 6 weeks now. And by the way, me posting on TikTok, I had posted for about 10 days before I posted this video. So that kind of gives you a timeline. And so I posted the video. Remember, it was a Sunday. It was like 3-something p.m. I posted it. And then I just went about my business. Like, I wasn't expecting it to blow up because none of my other videos really had. And like I said, I wasn't posting it to blow up. I was just posting it because I wanted to practice, you know, creating content basically. And so then I remember it was like maybe like 8 o'clock that same day, and I got on TikTok just to watch it. And I see the little red thing that pops up that tells you all your notifications and stuff. I'm like, it has 99 plus notifications. And I'm like, what the heck? So I look at the video, it has 250,000 views. Mind you, I posted it like a couple hours ago. It has 250,000 views. And my page was flooded with comments of people saying, we need to see your waist-length hair. We need to see this. Asking so many questions about the product. They were begging me to see my hair. Like, it was crazy. And I was like, oh my goodness. I remember jumping up and running to my little brother and like showing him like how many views I got. Like, we were both shook. And so then I went in my room. I had those red braids in. Went in my room, took out one of the braids and showed what my hair looked like. That was the first time I showed my hair on social media. Pulled it down all the way to my waist. And as someone who's an influencer now, that was super smart to like put out a second video within hours. But I didn't know that at the time. I was just so like, that just shows how good God is. He allowed me to do all the right steps to capitalize on the viral video. And so anyways, fast forward to like a week later, the video had hit 1 million views, I believe, within a couple days. I think it was maybe at like 2 million views by the end of the week. I had gained like 80,000 subscribers overnight. And it's weird because on TikTok nowadays, you don't get that same type of follows from a video. But I got like 80,000 followers within a week. People just kept asking me questions about hair. So I started posting posting videos answering the question. People asked, can you show your wash day routine? Made a video on it. Can you use the hair butter? Made a video on it. Can you show how to trim? Can you show how to do a twist out? And so I just kept posting videos and making them. A couple months later, like my followers, I think I may have had like 300,000 followers on social media. So it was a lot. And again, I was not trying to do this full time. I remember distinctly, there was a point during that time where I was like, this is just for fun. I would never do this full time. I remember thinking that, like, never gonna do this full time. But it was fun. You know, I got my first wig collab, which was basically them sending me a wig for free, but your girl didn't know no better. I had got sent a wig for free for the first time in my life, and I was like, oh my goodness, this has never happened to me before. So that's kind of how I got started on TikTok. So then when it comes to my other platforms, I started just reposting my TikToks on Instagram. And so everything I would post on TikTok, I would post on Instagram. This was before I knew that, like, you should be editing content for Instagram and then editing content for TikTok, like different types of styles of video. So I just started posting, and then I think by the time I went to medical school, I had, I want to say, like maybe 700,000 followers on TikTok. I know I reached 10K followers on Instagram. And then on YouTube actually I grew the slowest, which is kind of funny. I may have had like 10K. And that's just because the thing with YouTube, I just never was consistent with posting, like, ever. I just was not consistent posting YouTube videos, which I still am not. I'm trying to do better with once a week, y'all, but I was not consistent posting YouTube videos. Once I started medical school, I remember my dad was like, I know you like social media and stuff, but you might want to, you know, make sure you chill out on it because you got to prioritize school. And I remember thinking, like, yeah, like, that makes total sense. But then in the back of my head, I was like, there's no way I'm quitting this. Like, because I like it so much. Which should have been a sign then that I was going to leave med school, but we didn't know that. So anyways, in med school, this is how I know God is real and, like, he really wanted me to do this. I talked about this in another video about, I forgot what it was, but I'll link the video. I talked about how I noticed that in med school, when I wasn't as consistent as I was when I was on my gap year, I was still growing. And growing at a pretty steady rate. Like, I reached 1 million followers my first month of being in med school on TikTok. Several viral videos, like, page was doing great, everything was great. But you know what's funny? After my first year in med school, I realized that I could actually be successful in this. Like, if I was growing like this and I was in med school not being able to fully dedicate time to it, imagine how big I can grow if I'm dedicating my time to it. Also, one of the things that I did, I feel like that helped grow my platform a little bit, was I did a lot of wig collaborations during med school in 2021. If y'all watched my TikTok during that time, like, every single week I was posting a new wig video. So that kind of helped a little bit, but I don't work with wig companies anymore. I'm going to have to make a dedicated video on that because I talk about it a lot in shorts, but I don't be saying that actually. But, so anyways, so I ended up leaving med school in 2022. So just to backtrack for timeline, started social media December 2020. Went viral on TikTok January 2021. Went to med school fall of 2021. And so May of 2022, after finishing my first school year in med school, I decided to leave. And so then this is where, like, the hard part comes in, because I remember specifically, like, after I left med school, like, my social medias, like, paused. It was so weird. Every single social media platform that I had was not getting views or engagement. Nothing I did on TikTok worked, nothing I did on Instagram worked, nothing I did on YouTube worked. Like, it was terrible. I was not getting any views. It was so bad. And I was like, didn't I just leave med school to do this full time? This is not a good start at all. Kind of concerning. But anyways, so I think that was a part of God's plan, which I talked about in a different video. Just how, like, he did that to kind of, like, let me know that I need to trust him with this career if I'm going to do it full time. And know that he's the one that gives me views and not I'm the one that gets me views. But then after the first 3 months of doing it full time, all of a sudden my platform started to work. Like, I started talking about cultural appropriation on TikTok and was getting hundreds of thousands of views per video. I gained like 100,000 followers on Instagram in like 6 weeks. And on YouTube, I had learned that if I repost my TikToks, on my YouTube channel as shorts, those would get a lot more views than regular YouTube videos. And so I ended up gaining, like, at the end of 2022, I gained like 100,000 YouTube subscribers during Vlogmas just by posting shorts. I had a short that got like 20 million views. And yeah, so I think that's where most of my following came from, is my shorts. So, you know, I ended 2022, you know, this was maybe, you know, 7 or 8 months after leaving medical school on a super high note. Like, I was feeling good. Like I said, Vlogmas really did wonders for my YouTube channel. Like, it really did. I doubled my platform with this in the span of that week. Like, it was insane. Like, Vlogmas, that's why I did Vlogmas for this year, well, technically it's last year, because it just helped my platform so much. It was so much work, but it helped my platform so much. We're about to do skincare now. Oh crap, wait, I forgot the most important part. I'm slow. So to make sure that the curls are actually gonna last longer than like an hour after I take them down, take my Sebastian Shaper hairspray. This is on my Amazon storefront. I'm just gonna spray a good amount all over the hair. Like, don't be shy. Like, I kind of want it to be a little bit wet from the hairspray. That way, it will dry in like that lock position. That's what we want. And then I'm gonna put on my scarf, and then I'm gonna put on my bonnet. But I'm gonna come back on here and show y'all what they look like. Today's Friday, so I'm going to church on Sunday. I'm not going nowhere tomorrow, but I'm going to church on Sunday, so I'm gonna take them down and show y'all before church what they look like, so y'all can see. But again, I posted this on one of those apps. I don't even know. All right, let's move on to skincare, and I'll finish off my story. Because things got worse before they got better. Even though I thought they were getting better, they got worse before they got better. By the way, these are my DIY lash extensions. I'm doing a wear test for y'all on TikTok to see how long they last. So far, it's been about 4 days. So we're going to see. Also, I've been doing a wear test of the viral nail glue on TikTok, and it's been a whole week and they haven't popped off. But these press-ons suck because the paint's already chipping off. But the point is the glue. So we're gonna see how long these last. They're supposed to last 30 days. I've seen people like actually make them last 30 days, so we're gonna see. But anyways, moving on to skincare. We're gonna be using the Colleen Rothschild gel cleanser with my silicone brush, which I cannot find. And I'm also gonna be using my steamer to cleanse. I'm not wearing any makeup today, but I'm gonna use my steamer anyways. Why not? Get a couple pumps on here. Okay, but like I said, 2022 really did end on a high note. And I thought, you know, finally, I know what I'm gonna do with my life. I made a really crazy decision to leave med school, but it's paying off. And this is my career, and it's gonna be great, and everything's gonna be all lucky and dandy. But no, that's not what happened. So, in 2023, so last year, started out the year good. I was still coming off the high from the holidays with Vlogmas, and like literally all my platforms were just doing really well their holidays. I was talking a lot about cultural appropriation at the end of 2022. I went on the Dr. Phil show for it. If y'all want to see the reaction to my episode, it's on my page. Just beware, it's not pretty. But went on Dr. Phil's show, and I got flown to LA. I'm thinking, okay, I'm about to be this influencer that's traveling everywhere. I'm about to be like Monet and like Soraya Jade and all these huge influencers, Jackie Ina, Alyssa Ashley. I'm about to be like one of those influencers, right? So tell me why literally at the end of January I decided to stop talking about like controversy and like cultural appropriation and stuff, because it was just setting a weird vibe on my page that I didn't like, and I didn't want to have content that depended on talking about other people. So I stopped doing that, and literally all my social media platforms tanked. Like, they dropped drastically. From February to like September, I had like barely any views, barely any engagement on my pages. I could not figure out what was going on. I tried so many different video ideas. I tried different hashtags. I tried not using hashtags. I tried doing minute-long videos, 30-second. Literally nothing I was doing worked. Because I remember when I specifically moved to this apartment, I was struggling with social media. Like, I could not figure out what type of content to make. And I was like posting hair content, and it was flopping. So I talked about in my video titled How to Get Everything You Want in 2024, I talked about how the reason for that was because God wanted me to understand that my purpose was not in influencing, but in my business. Nothing wrong with influencing, but he wanted me to understand that I should never prioritize that over my business, because that is where I'm going to be doing the most for him with. Which I definitely see now, because in the past I just kept my business because that was what was making most of my income, not because I was genuinely passionate about it. But now I am. Like, I work more with my business than I do with influencing, believe it or not. So once I realized that and got that revelation around September, my platform started going up again. So yeah, I realized that it wasn't that difficult to grow social media. So I realized that my problem with social media wasn't a physical problem, it was a spiritual problem, which some people might not agree with. But once I got it together, it got together. That's basically how I started social media. Now it's 2024. I'm doing really good on Instagram, really good on TikTok. I'm starting to learn better what types of content to post on each platform while simultaneously branching out and trying new things like introducing the weight loss content and doing more lifestyle content and videos like this where I kind of combine like hair with also skincare and a story time. I think I'm finally starting to get the hang of it and finally starting to see consistency on my platforms, because it's weird. The past 3 years, this is the first time I've ever had consistent views and engagement on my platforms. Like, I can post a video and like low-key expect to get a certain number of views or a certain number of engagements or a certain number of comments or whatever. So now, while I finish up my skincare, I thought it would be a good idea to share a couple of tips that have genuinely helped me grow my platforms. Because like I said, I've been getting a lot of questions about people asking, how do you go about growing your platforms? So I'm going to be using these toning pads from Numbuzin. So the first thing, and I feel like it's low-key something everybody knows, but it's annoying because you hear it all the time, is consistency. You have to be posting consistently in order to grow your platforms. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make is when they post on social media and it goes viral and they don't post for 2 weeks, and then they get upset because the views and engagement isn't gone. Like my first viral video, if I wouldn't have posted for a week, I would not have grown and started the platform. I would have had to wait till another viral video. So it's important that you capitalize on your viral videos, but also be consistent. I remember when I first got on TikTok, I was posting like 2-3 times a day. Of course, now I would just recommend once a day, at least 5 days a week, honestly. At least 5 days a week on the platform you're trying to grow on, at least. If you're specifically trying to focus on TikTok, I would recommend every single day, or almost every single day. And the reason why that's important, why people say it all the time, is it's just the basic principle. Like, the more people see you, the more they're gonna follow you. How many of us have like watched somebody on social media and like you've seen like their like 10 of their videos on your For You page and you're like, I keep seeing this person, I might as well follow them since I like their content? That's kind of how it works. So somebody watches your video and they're like, oh, I like her. And if they would have seen another video, they would have followed, but you didn't post, so they didn't see anything. So like for me, right, if somebody likes one of my videos on their For You page, they're gonna continue to see a bunch of my videos because I'm posting all the time. And I also have a ton of videos on my platforms because I've been posting consistently for years. And also, they can go to my page and binge watch my content and then decide to follow me, which I know we do too. I see somebody, I go to their page on TikTok, I might watch a couple of their videos and then end up subscribing or following. So you want to make sure that you're posting every single day, okay? Let me dry this with my fan. So the second thing that you want, it never fails that every single time I film something, I always end up dropping something. Another thing that I think is really important is that if you are trying to do social media seriously, you need to establish a clear niche. This is something I didn't do at the beginning, and I think it's also contributed to why I did not have consistent engagement on my platforms for a while, because I feel like people just kind of got confused, and I got confused. So you kind of need to establish, what do you want to do? Do you want to be a lifestyle influencer? Do you want to be a hair influencer? Do you want to be a makeup influencer? Do you want to be a skincare influencer? Do you want to be a little bit of all three? Like, what do you want to do? Then create content based off of that. So like, if you know that you genuinely don't like doing hair, that's not your thing, don't post a hair video, because if that hair video goes viral, that's what people are going to expect from you forever. Exhibit A, right? And don't get me wrong, I love natural hair, and the more that I have grown in this niche, the more I have learned to like it, but I still at the end of the day don't like doing my hair. But I don't regret that my content is hair, if that makes sense, but I still don't like doing it. So you want to make sure you establish a clear niche. So if you want to be a makeup guru, don't post nothing but makeup. If you want to be a lifestyle, don't post nothing but day in my life. If you want to do fashion, don't post nothing but fashion, because you want somebody to watch your video, to go on your page and clearly see what type of influencer you are. Now, if you just want to do all three, then just label yourself as a beauty influencer, and then do all things beauty, which includes hair, skin, whatever. I'm trying to show y'all my serum. It's the Peach and Lily Glass Skin Refining Serum. All these products gonna be linked, so they're either tagged in the description or somewhere. So yeah, make sure that you have a clear niche. That way you don't get stuck doing content that you don't like, or you get stuck doing too much content that you cannot be consistent with. So make sure it's not too big, but also not too small. So if you want a little bit of diversity, again, I would say a beauty influencer is great. But it's kind of hard to be a beauty influencer and then a gaming influencer at the same time, right? So if you want to do something like that, but on opposite ends, start 2 channels. Don't try to do both of them on one. It's not going to work. So next one, I made this mistake when I first started, is make sure that you are prioritizing a community over a following. I didn't do this at first. I thought the more followers I got, the better everything would be. But the thing is, when you don't have community, it doesn't matter how many followers you have, you're not going to get the engagement that you want. And you're not going to have the support you want. Because there was a time when I had 1 million followers on TikTok, but I couldn't get a video to go over 10,000 views. Because I didn't have a community of people that I consistently engaged with and answered comments of and did giveaways for and let them know that I appreciate them and I care about them. I did, but I didn't show it. And so because of that, the support that I got was nowhere near where I get now. Like, some people literally will just watch my videos because it's me. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. I could literally like just stand in the camera and start barking like a dog and they'll watch it because it's me. Because I've established that community with my audience. Or a lot of people literally just buy my products because it's me. Of course, when they get them, they realize they're bomb and they keep buying them. But that initial buying of the products is because it's just me. They're like, anything Brittany comes out with, I'm gonna buy. It's harder now because I have a larger following, but I still try to do Q&As. I just did a Q&A on my Instagram like yesterday, I think. Still try to do Q&As. I still try to answer comments within the first 24 hours. I do my giveaways for my business once a month. So I make sure that I'm trying my best to establish that community with you guys, so y'all know that I like y'all and I appreciate y'all. That makes sense. You don't want to be seen as somebody that is like using your following. That makes sense. I'm gonna use the eye cream by Colleen Rothschild. Full transparency, if I did not get sent this, I wouldn't buy it. It's like 60 bucks. That's why y'all like me, huh? Because I'm real. But I'm being honest. It's a good eye cream, I just wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't spend $60 on eye cream. Because I got one from Numbuzin that's like $20, I think. That I personally like a little bit better than this one. But we're not gonna say nothing to them because I still want them to send me products. So yeah, establishing a community is super important. And so the last thing is understanding how to work with brands, okay? Because that can really make or break an influencer. It's important that you always do your research on whatever brands you're working with, because a lot of times if a brand is trash, an influencer will get blamed for being associated with them, even if they had no idea. So it's important that you always do your research. I'm using my Vaseline balm stick to slug. So it's important that you always do your research on companies. It's important that you always make sure that you are not accepting brand deals just because it's for money. Not everything's about money. It's not worth it to ruin your following because you promoted a product that you really didn't like just for a check. There have been so many brands that have reached out to me wanting me to do like stuff that I knew wasn't real or wasn't gonna work, or like my followers weren't gonna like, or I wasn't gonna like. There's so many brands that have reached out to me and like offer me a pretty decent amount of money, and yet I declined because I'm like, that's not gonna work for y'all. And also I know like TikTok Shop and stuff gets on people's nerves because they're like, I don't want to keep seeing influencers do this. But at the same time, I like TikTok Shop because I can pick what I promote on there, and it's stuff that I know y'all are gonna like, or stuff that I know that I'm gonna like and I want to put y'all on. Like, for example, this nail glue, right? I'm testing it for y'all to see if it actually works. I'm not telling you to go buy it. So you need to make sure that you have integrity when it comes to brand deals, but also don't be stupid. Like, research your brands, and also make sure you're getting paid appropriately. Like, if they're not paying you, it's not worth it. Unless you need the money like right then and there. But other than that, it's not worth it. Alright guys, I was literally about to close out the video, but then I forgot I was going to show y'all what these curls look like on Sunday. So I'll be back for y'all like 2 seconds, but for me like a day and a half. Alright guys, so it is Sunday, which means that this has been in my head for over 24 hours because I installed it on Friday. That's the last time I saw you guys. So we're gonna get into it. I love this thing because it's super easy to take out, which is great because I'm running late for church. Like super late. So basically all I do is just take out the scrunchies at the bottom. Take these out. Y'all, I'm running so late. Okay, and then you just slide it out just like this. And then you just shake, kind of fluff it out, fix this, the front, kind of gotta play with it for a few minutes just to kind of get the shape that you want. And I like to kind of pull the front of my hair a little bit just to give me a little bit of a bang in the front. I'm just gonna like fluff it. I'm not going to brush the curls out or comb them out because it makes the leave out get frizzy. So instead, I'm just going to kind of play with it, tear. I'm going to like separate some of the curls with my fingers at the bottom. But other than that, I'm not really going to do anything because I don't want to mess it up, especially the front. Like I leave the front alone. It's really just the bottom and the back that I might touch up. All right, guys, and that's it. Curls are super easy. And yeah, let me get a thumbnail. Alright guys, and that's it. The front piece right here kind of looks weird. I think I messed up when I was wrapping it around, but it's going to drop in like 20 minutes, so it's going to fit perfectly. So I'm not going to stress too much about it. But this side looks pretty good, and this will last me like all day, so that's a good thing. So, alright guys, so that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed my story of how I became an influencer. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about influencing, social media, how you can get started, let me know. I might make another video, or I might just answer it in the comments. I haven't decided yet. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Click the subscribe button, click notifications on so you don't miss any uploads. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram for daily content, and check out my hair care line if you're interested in getting some products to help promote growth. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.